I don't know if you guys have ever seen a channel called Dhar Mann. A lot of you probably have, since his videos get millions of views every single day. But for some reason, I have only just found out about his channel, and honestly, my life was so much better before I was aware of this channel. If you haven't heard of him before, Dhar Mann makes videos on a lot of different topics. They're mostly acted out as short stories with a moral at the end, which doesn't seem like anything revolutionary when you first hear about them. But sometimes the videos themselves are absolutely crazy, and Dhar just goes way too far to the point that I am literally left speechless. Dhar Mann is an entrepreneur that set up his YouTube channel back in 2018. When you look at his channel, he says in his own words,
"We're not just telling stories, we're changing lives."
I mean, that's quite a bold statement to make when all your channel contains are the most random roleplay scenarios. However, he also mentions in the description of his channel that he draws from his own experiences with success and failure. So already before actually watching any of his videos, I had my standards set pretty high, but girl, I have never had my emotions played with so horribly in all my life. Pretty much every single one of his videos has the same title. It will start with a completely random scenario like mean girl humiliates quiet teen. And then almost always the title will finish with what happens next is shocking, or and they instantly regret it. So Dhar obviously has a formula, and to be honest, I can't fault it because by looking at the amount of views he gets, his formula is definitely working. But let's actually take a look into his revolutionary content that claims to change lives. Here's one of Dhar Mann's videos that genuinely killed my brain cells off by the minute. It's called Kid Tries to Kill Mom for iPhone 14. What happens next is shocking.
I know this is a tough time for everyone, and we lost a really good man. And Gerardo was a gentleman. Remember how we used to love silence?
So already the video is starting out with a super annoying kid at a funeral. And just in the first seconds, if I don't see the title, I would just assume that this was an ad for birth control.
Okay, come on, all right? I hardly knew the guy.
Don't be disrespectful. Do you want your phone back or not?
Fine.
Trust me when I say that I've met some horrible kids in my lifetime, but this is like one of the most unbelievable characters that straight up looks and acts like someone from The Simpsons.
I can't imagine how difficult this is for you.
Margie, the family put this together for you to help cover all the expenses.
It's $10,000? Goodness, no.
Imagine your husband literally just got buried into the ground for you to never be able to see him again. And now you have a 10-year-old about to try and rob you to cover his funeral expenses.
Okay, Daniel, you do know someone needs to die for there to be a funeral, right? Are you gonna kill me?
No, not your funeral. Mom's funeral.
You're gonna kill Mom?
I literally don't know what is worse right now, the absolutely terrible acting, or the fact that Dhar Mann says that he pulls the ideas from these videos from his personal experiences. It's low-key kind of scary. This guy is literally an entrepreneur and is making a video about a kid that would kill his own mother to get an iPhone 14. Dhar's mom is probably shaking watching this right now because I'm pretty sure the new iPhone gets released around this time of year.
Check this out. Super believable, right? Oh, so sad. Getting teary-eyed just looking at it. I can already see the money coming in. Hey, chances are I'll have enough to buy you an iPhone too.
Okay, so now I'm just confused. This kid has his phone taken away from him, yet he's still allowed to use his iPad? Y'all, when I was growing up back in the dark ages, I didn't even have any sort of electronic device until I was in high school. But this kid that is barely out of the womb has an entire Apple Store stockroom at his disposal.
Dude, put on some like fake tears or something. Remember, our mom died.
No, you know I can't fake it like you can.
Just do it.
No, I can't. I literally can't.
And she leaves behind her 2 sons. Would either of you like anything to say?
Yeah, Jackson will. Yes, you will. You know I can't. Just do it.
Just get up there. I'm gonna.
Fine.
Okay, so far in this video, this boy has managed to convince everyone that his mom has died, despite the fact that she made it very clear that she was going away on a silent retreat and wouldn't have her phone with her. And they then managed to convince a funeral director to hold an actual service without having any proof that they will be burying a body, and they paid for all of it through a GoFundMe. I kind of want to live in whatever universe Dhar has created, because if everything is this easy, you can guarantee that I'll be disappearing from the internet for a week to fake my own death. The only problem for this kid is that his mom is obviously very much alive, yet everyone is currently attending her funeral. Also, his brother is literally a grown man who is letting his tiny little evil sibling control him. My brother can't even convince me to help him with his homework. There's no way I'm going to help him throw a funeral for our mom. Every single scene that goes by in this video just makes me wonder whose life Dhar Mann claims to be changing. Seriously, I swear he just has an AI robot write these stories.
Yeah, that's right, I'm alive. And I don't know how long you'll be after all this. Thank you all so much for coming.
Okay, in my opinion, this is probably one of the funniest things I have ever seen in my entire life. Imagine attending a funeral and then the person in the casket just gets up and starts screaming at her child. Everyone sitting in the service is also literally so calm. I would be filled to my neck with rage. The person's funeral I literally just donated to isn't even dead, and she has the audacity to thank me for coming. I'd probably put her back in the casket for real this time, along with her kids.
Very sneaky. Turning off my iPhone to airplane mode, but when I turned it back on,
I thought that this grandma was supposed to be British. Don't get me wrong, I'm not an actress, but there's no way that Dhar is paying these people. So basically, the whole video ends with the kid having to volunteer at the funeral directors for the next 6 months, and he doesn't get his iPhone in the end. I'm really not sure who needs to learn this lesson, but apparently Dhar bases these stories off of his own experience, so I'm guessing he's somehow seen something like this before? Remember guys, as Dhar Mann famously said, we're not changing lives, we're teaching kids that if you want to get the new iPhone, you shouldn't pretend that your mom is dead and throw her a fake funeral, because she will find out. Absolutely revolutionary. I'm so happy that Dhar could teach me this lesson, but honestly, if you thought that was the end of it, you're so wrong. People have been calling out Dhar Mann, saying that his videos can even sometimes be problematic for the way that he tackles issues such as racism.
Don't you work here?
No, I'm waiting on someone.
You must drive a cab then. I actually need a ride to the bank so I can deposit this check.
Lots of Dhar Mann's videos aim to try and tackle racism, but they do it in a really weird way. Because rather than explaining why saying or doing certain things are wrong, it just falls back to him to make super cheesy scenes where someone says or does something racist and then something happens which makes them regret it. A ton of people have criticized Dhar Mann, calling his content toxic positivity, since the videos themselves are about real and serious issues, but the way that they are resolved is usually completely unrealistic. Like in this video, a horrible racist mother accuses her son's friend, who is black, of stealing.
You not to hang out with kids like that. They're nothing but trouble.
What do you mean? Martin's my friend.
I don't care.
On top of accusing him of stealing, she also calls him poor, and then says that he's a bad influence on her son, whose grades are dropping in school. But then literally out of nowhere, the kid that was accused of stealing pulls a brand new MacBook Pro out of his bag, which he said was a present for his friend with the bad grades to help him study, and then the mom feels bad and apologizes for being a terrible person.
I was only in Braden's room to surprise him with this.
You bought me a new laptop? Wow! And it's the new one I've been wanting. Thank you so much, man. You're the best friend ever.
So you see, I'm not the bad guy you think I am.
None of this really made sense, because she only felt bad about calling someone poor just because they were black, who then randomly turned out to gift her son a brand new laptop, and then the mom feels sorry and is somehow cured of her racism after the boy gives her son a laptop. I have no idea where Dhar Mann pulled this conclusion from. But never on this universe would this situation ever play out like this. Like, it just doesn't even make sense. But it's not just this video. There are honestly video after video like this that tackles real world issues with a scenario that would never ever work out in the real world. And you know what's even more crazy is the fact that millions of people watch his videos every day. But what do you guys think of Dhar Mann's videos? Do you think that he's changing lives, or does he just have too much money at this point and he's just trolling with scenarios that don't make sense? Let me know down in the comments, and I'll see y'all in my next video.